Oh, this might work. Hello. Oh my goodness. Am I live? Please let me. I think it worked. It didn't give me a like, hey, your encoders are all broken warning. All right. Yeah, I did it. Okay, cool. Hi, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Feedback Friday. It is Art Edition. I'm your host, Jacob. It's been a while. How's everyone doing? I missed you. Hello, everyone. Uh, so sorry about that. I am on a brand new computer. My computer was a little long in the tooth, a little old, just like these headphones. So you might be able to tell they're crumbling. Um, Next upgrade. After like I think 12 years of running on that old PC, I don't know how long it was exactly, but it's been around the block for a while. So long, in fact, that like all the hardware, when I'd like look at like minimum specs for games, the hardware that I was running on just doesn't exist in like benchmarking and everything. So we upgraded my computer, and it's beautiful. Um, However, I only finished the build like yesterday morning, kind of thing, and I'd been setting up all my software and getting everything kind of configured how I need it. And yesterday I was like, I think I figured out all OBS stuff, but I guess I'll see when I actually go to stream. And apparently I didn't quite have it all ready. But we're good now. Hopefully the bit rate and stuff is good. Um, yeah. And hello, everyone. Hello. So today is going to be a art stream, but it's going to be kind of in the same vein of how this stream started, very kind of loose and messy and just not quite right. I'm still kind of like figuring out all the software and stuff, um, but we can do art. I got Clip Studio kind of configured. I was worried I'd have to rebuild all my brushes and stuff. Thankfully, I figured out how to import kind of everything that I needed, which is great. Um, but also, we're winding down for the year in house, and that means that like we don't have like a lot of tasks loaded up on our like to-do list. Art wise, I'm only working on some interface stuff that I can't do on stream. Unfortunately, it's kind of like stuff you'll get to discover later. So I technically don't have anything to draw for you today. So I figured that we could just kind of like leave it up to you all to see what you would like to do today. We could do some kind of like repaint perhaps. I'm actually still setting up my streaming suite, so you may notice this interface looks a little bit different. We're missing some characters on this preview. I was able to load part of my setup, but like the characters I had on here were being loaded in from elsewhere. So if we could decorate this today if we want, just hang out and like modify the streaming view if that sounds interesting. Um, I could just answer questions. We could do a little impromptu ask me anything kind of session. We probably won't go long at all today. Just kind of hanging out with you today. Let's hang out. We haven't chatted in a while. How have you been? Uh, uh, the chart on. Oh yeah, I mean this is always like on display, um, and I'm sure a lot of people wonder what it is. Even in my work meetings, people will be like, actually just this week, someone asked like, "What is that monitor over there?" They thought it was a monitor, and it's actually like a thing I made for myself years ago. It's actually every day of the year, and the camera is inverted, so this J looks like an L, but that's January, February, March, April, etc. So all the days in the entire year, and it's a whiteboard. I've been using it to kind of just like track my my functionality. It's kind of like when I do something like on my list of like be crafty and kind of like do projects and stay focused. It's something that I check off. Um, I kind of had a bit of a fall off the bandwagon in November. Um, and I also don't always actually update this, but I've been kind of busy with things. So it's not always kind of like fully used. I need to get back on that train. Maybe that's a New Year's resolution thing, but it's a cool little thing that I've been doing. Um, I just don't always stick to it. My whole kind of like life is built around um, kind of like performing rituals of kind of like, okay, when I wake up I do these things in these orders, and it makes me more functional. And there are times when I include this as part of it and it's useful, and I should probably get back to doing that because I need that structure, just the way that my brain is wired. It's very helpful. So yeah, I mean that's like a little tool that I made for myself, and feel free to steal that idea. I'm sure that I stole it from something somewhere. Uh, but yeah, it's a good kind of like just do better every day kind of goal. Like and like don't give yourself like I have to like work for a full you know hour on this personal project every day. Just it's just kind of like simple little things that you want to push yourself, and just like it helps build um, habits, which are a good thing to kind of to develop. But yeah, yeah. My leaf is distracting. Yeah, I like having my little co-host leaf on camera. I try to always kind of keep it in frame somehow, but I don't always remember to get that there. But since I was doing the whole new setup, then I made sure to kind of get it in frame. It kind of takes like center stage if I let it, so I got to be a little more dominant in the frame if I must be here with it. But yeah, uh, vote area journal theme so there's more incentive to get it. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so if we wanted to do some art, we could do a brand new journal theme and also not have that in the game. But the more we stack up of those, the more we will kind of like have more incentive imperative to actually like release the ones that I'm holding in my vault of goodies. Yeah. Yeah, a special tribute design for Franco to remember him. That is something that I will be doing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that live on stream. I'm still gonna like chat with the team about what we want to do, but I really would love to kind of like create a tribute to Franco. And I have some ideas that I'm thinking about that I think I'd love to do. But yeah, I don't think I'll do that today. But I do want to do that, and yeah, I'm gonna talk to the team. Maybe we will do that as a live stream. I think that could be very nice to put in the game, and for those who kind of got to hang out with him on streams or even meet him in person and stuff, it might be really nice to see that. Yeah, we'll talk more about that internally and come up with a plan for that. But yeah, I really would love to do that, and I have some fun ideas, so we'll see. Um, yeah. The 14th already over where you are, Edison. Just a time traveler, huh? On the other side of the world. All right. Yeah, so color changes on that are for like different things like crafting or just kind of like different focus things, and it changes, whatever rule I decide. Like blue used to be coding a lot. Sometimes it's just kind of like, oh, this is the marker that's conveniently right here. Um, and yeah, uh-huh. Franco's shop on the map. That is kind of what I was thinking. The salt mines would be a very good one as well. Um, but yeah, the idea that I would really like to kind of see about doing would be putting Franco shop in the game, but like never allowing you guys to ever travel to it. But it's like actually programmed in and functional, and it's got stuff for sale. That'd be like the ultimate Franco shop move, in my opinion. Like You could go into like Larry's loot lexicon and see the stuff that you could never have. I don't know if we could do it that way, but like that's like how I would love to kind of put that in there. The final troll be pretty good. But again, like this is something it's something that's gonna be pretty personal. So we want to you know figure it out in team, and it's a lot of it's gonna be for us internally. But we want to do it in a way where it would be, you know, um, something that people who knew who Franco was, they can see that and appreciate that. And then for people who like have no idea about any of it, it's kind of nondescript and not kind of like too distracting or anything. Like a little plaque on a bench kind of thing, but like even more just kind of like if you knew if you know about it, you get it. But yeah. Um, what happened to the Dragon Golem? He was available only in the last slot. Now I can't find him at all. Yeah, I know that the devs were discussing something about that. It might differ on kind of like being able to find it. I don't know the situation with it, unfortunately. But I think on browser and mobile, maybe there's something up. So if you're playing on mobile and you can't seem to find it other than the final Golem generator, maybe pop onto browser and see if you can kind of configure it. Because you can, obviously, there's like the randomize button to change your golems, and then there's like the arrows by each part, and you kind of flip through them all. I know that we've been able to find it on both browser and mobile, and only some users have mentioned they can't seem to get it. Maybe you need to do an update on the app. I don't know. I'm not the programmer side of things, so hopefully that's resolved because it was a very fun character, and I want everyone to be able to hang out with that Dragon Golem. I know he's my number one slot, going out and getting dragon loot for me. Right. Yeah, it still works for some people. It's a penguin dragon rabbit hybrid. I love that. What parts though? I'm curious. Like dragon head, penguin arms, rabbit torso, feet. Shop sells one mythical dragon heart for sale. The cost of 2 million mythical dragon hearts. That's perfect, A Swifty. I love it. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you should find in Franco Shop. Yeah. Uh, During the recent Relic Hunter event, there were when there are 10 slots on an open map, there are images on the right which overlap the slots. Not sure if that's an alignment issue. Yeah, we're gonna tweak that for overloaded maps. Like we saw that come through. It's one of the bugs that was reported and kind of in the dock. I believe it's probably one of those things that will, when we rerun that event, that's going to be something that should be addressed. Um, but yeah, it's not very pretty when it's all just kind of weird overlaps and stuff. We'll figure that out. Make a normal standard golem for my first slot every year. He's a goober and I love him. See, that's what I love to see. Um, when we were discussing internally about like, oh, are we gonna do another kind of character for the golem generator? We looked up the stats because we have like some tracking stuff in the game, and like less than like 1% of the players actually like configured their golems last year apparently, and we were like, oh, I guess that like the the golem parts aren't as kind of used by people as we thought. Um, uh, and I'm like, is there something wrong with the tracking? Surely people like randomize at least, or like change one of them. Um, yeah, as long as you guys who hang out here like them, then I'll keep trying to add more if we keep doing the golems. But I love them. I don't want them to go away. Keep them all year round. I want them to hang out with me. Um, yeah. Dragon Golem and a Bunny Knight. Oh, Bunny Knight's good. I have Buff Cat. and like full dragon, and then just like muscle cat and little terrified adventurer. He's always fun. Hmm. Oh, of course. Normal golem number one must have the suit. Yeah. Do I have a personal favorite golem design? Honestly, right now it is actually the dragon. I like his like him and like he's got the hat on the horn. Um, yeah, like I was playing around with the customizing and I'm like, you know what, just straight up dragon's pretty good. I might give him a suit though. That's like after seeing the normal golem with the suit idea, I'm kind of like I kind of want dragon doing like in a suit. Um, yeah, right. All right. So, what are we thinking? Do we do a redraw? Do we do like new kind of journal theme that we just kind of like build up a docket and then throw them in the Franco shop? um, I was talking with the art team yesterday, and it was like I don't know, like what should I draw? And there's like I don't know, you just like hang out and chat, or even just like play a game, stream stream gaming on this game stream. Um, I have a fancy new computer. I can play video games. Um, let's see, journal theme. Yeah, journal theme could be fun. What area would we do? Second on the journal. All right. We could also decorate my streaming frame. You know, I could go in here and like, let's see, what character should I add in here? Let's add a mouse. Who should I add? Let's see, I'm gonna get. We had the time punk, the uh, eggscapist. Actually, I want to get. Okay, I'm gonna throw this guy on here. Just stomping around on my screen. I like this character a lot. The like chaos in its eyes. Just like look at how happy. Just having a good time. I think you can see me editing this live, right? Maybe this should be in like the lunch break and just like take up this side and just be like, I'm out of here. Or quick break maybe would be even better. That dude is having a blast. It is not a new mouse. It's Floating Islands, the tactical. Kind of want to put the shadow under it, but yeah. Like I want it all in frame because I just really like this character, but maybe just off the side a bit like that. Big like that. Like, because I don't want it to go too far into the drawing frame, but like here's good, maybe. I like that. Boop. Yeah, actually, Floating Islands not having a journal theme is actually kind of surprising. Would it feel weird to like go into uh not well like it's old area but it's like not so old and like people spent so long in there and then like throw in something that like maybe you got to go learn that now. Would that feel too weird to do? I don't know. Iceberg and Slushy Shoreline. More people are going back there with like the mapping stuff, so that might actually be kind of neat to throw something in there. does have the airships. That's true. I think that is why we never ended up doing the journal theme, because there was like more customization that you get there. That's a good point. Um, also have this view for if I'm like, I gotta like technical difficulties. Um, Kind of a fun one. I could put more, jam more in here. Could be fun. Like let's throw this guy in here too. Boop and existing. Bam. Just kind of clambering up. Just kind of like marching around the side of the cliff. What's down here? There you go. Done. Oh, there we go. Lunch break. I updated it so it's not like super crunchy text. So that's nice. But yeah, I need to kind of like throw stuff into these frames. So I kind of want to do that today, just because like it's a good time to like dedicate that effort, I guess, if we want. I do have a Larry link for you all. Maybe I'll give that now so I don't forget. Where is that? Copy. Because I don't know. I'm probably not going to stream super long. I just want to hang out. Also, this like just mess of a stream is, I believe, the last one of the year. We are next week going to be having our kind of like holiday year-end hangout, like party for the team, and so we're not really going to be available to do a stream, and then of course that's into the holidays. I shared the link. Let me grab a pile of animated snow myself. 5 animated snow for y'all. By the way, how many mythical dragon hearts have your golems returned with? Probably none so far. When we were doing the golem loot preview stuff, one of the things that I really wanted to add was for the like categorical, very rare, extremely rare, uncommon. I wanted mythical dragonheart to just like have its own unique thing, just like I don't know, ultimate rarity or impossibly rare, or something fun. But yeah, it's a toughie. Not an easy one to drop. Slay a dragon rarity. I like it. Yeah, it's a tough cookie. Um, Make sure I'm up to date on things there. Cool. Okay, so what should we do? I kind of want to, as I mentioned, decorate the frames. Um, that's definitely a thing we can do. Like if you're like, oh, can we throw this character on? Let's do it. Uh, there's definitely some suggestions to draw a new journal theme, which I like as well. Uh, and I guess it'd be a case of like, what journal theme should we start? Because I don't think it'll be a case of we do it start to finish. Um, so we got one for floating islands or sunken city. I know I've mentioned it in team before, and they're kind of it's a little bit of a case of like, oh, I don't know if we want to add like a reward you earn to areas that are like old and people want to kind of be done with potentially. Um, so that's a factor, but whoop, my drawing monitor just blinked out. I don't like that. Ugh. I like shifted it. I was wiping it down. It just blacked out. I had to switch the input mode. It was using kind of like screw in kind of, was it DVI hookup, and I had to switch it to HDMI because the computer kind of does not have the old pin style input plugs, so I had to change it to HDMI. And I'm worried that that connection is a little bit janky. Like if I move it in the wrong way, it might like disconnect. Because a lot of tablets I've seen over the years have that issue where it's kind of like a very kind of loose, you just plug. It's a plug that can easily kind of get pulled in and out. Whereas having it kind of like pinned in and you actually like screw it in, those I've never had issues with because they are very secured. So hopefully it won't be an issue because that would be unfortunate. Sunken City. Sunken City gives me nightmares. Those who really want to get the journal theme will go back. I mean, that's true. That's fair. Also, I feel like another thing on that end is if we add more and more and more of these kind of like journal themes for like old areas that are like, you've done it, you're good, but like if you want to go back and earn this thing, or maybe you go back and you already have all the resources to buy it, cool, good on you. But if we pile up a few of those, we got your Valor Rifts or whatever kind of journal themes. If there's more than one, and we kind of release them into game at the same time as like a little packet of like, hey, we kind of like added some journal themes to a few old areas. Go find them. That could be kind of like a nice excuse to just put them in. Whereas before we were kind of sitting on them like, well, we need a good reason and how to put them in. But if there's just a few of them piled up, that's a good reason, and it feels appropriate. If it's not just like, hey, in this update we randomly put one journal theme in an old area, it just feels kind of like out of place. But if it's just like, yeah, a little refresh on some old content, feels like more intentional and more sensible. So I kind of like that. Yeah, we also could redraw mice. There's a Ninja Mouse. Did we redraw the Ninja Mouse? Or, oh, I'm thinking of like the Thief Mouse, maybe. There's also the Granite Mouse. I think I started a redraw on that years ago, and I didn't like where it was going, so I kind of scrapped it and never ended up finishing it. Larry or King's Journal theme. Those could go in like the King's Arms, that's true. Easier to fit that in. Although we did a King's Arms update recently, in case anyone didn't find that stuff. I don't know if it kind of like flew under the radar for some people, but when we did that, the map Bonanza, we added some stuff to the King's Cart. And adjusted the rewards from the Relic Hunter maps. So if you do Relic Hunter maps, you can get the... pretty sure this is how it works now. I need to verify before I give you bad info. But yeah, I think the gilded coins... Was that only during the event? I don't know. Yeah, there's some sweet items in the King's Cart trap skins. Treasure Map Hunter journal theme. I feel like I would definitely want to do that with some kind of like treasure map event, which definitely is stuff we'll be doing. So that's not a bad idea. Yeah, we have a Relic Hunter map journal theme. Still prefer the old stone base design, actually. Simple drawing plus gray color. I think the thing about those old bases that I really wanted to be kind of cleaned up is a lot of the really old ones had that like actual felt marker outline. They were drawn on pen and like on paper with a pencil and then outlined with black felt marker, scanned in, rendered on the computer. And so I do not like that, and it made me very happy to get rid of some of that old art that was like extremely out of kind of character with the the style of game. Ah, okay. Monitor. Don't like that it blacked out again. All right, let's see. I know when that's happened in the past for people, there have been like their actual pen drivers would mess up and stuff. So I really. Speaking of which. All right, cool. That has already happened. I am going to have to lose my mind. No, I might have to get like an adapter where it goes from like the pin, like plug in and screw into the monitor to actual display port or HDMI connection to on the computer end. So I might get that adapter if this doesn't repair easily. All right, let's see. I actually haven't even configured my pen. That's how like still setting up my machine I am. I managed to get like all the software running. Like I can speak to the art team. I can, run certain programs, but I haven't like gone in and like fine-tuned everything. I had to like redo hotkeys on a bunch of stuff. So let's see. Okay, so I'm back now. Interesting that it is suddenly back. Okay, cool. I didn't actually do anything to fix the pen other than just change the window. All right, so that is more responsive than it used to be. I didn't realize how laggy my like computer was when drawing before. Interesting. That's so much more responsive. Wow. Who knew that like hardware from this decade makes for a better drawing experience? Fancy that. Okay. Actually, I think there's oh yeah. So that hotkey needs to be tweaked. Let's see. Huan. Let's change. This is not the right mouse button. This is. Wait. Oh, okay. Keyboard key. There we go. There we go. That's my undo button. And then this, I think I actually have it do nothing. Because there was something about this button that, like, when I clicked it, it would sometimes, like, activate the mouse, or the pressure. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, that is not the right sensitivity. That's a little bit. Okay, that's definitely feeling a lot better there. Isn't this the most exciting stream? That's pretty decent. Cool. All right, I like that. I wish I could like save this exact setup. Maybe I'll adjust that curve just a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I also, well, the calibration's not terrible. No, I need to adjust that a bit. All right. So the working area, monitor calibration. Let's see if I can get this on the first shot. It's probably going to be off. Hey, that's not bad. Could be better. Try that again. Okay, good enough for now. All right. Goody. Ooh, I should try some of my crunchier brushes that would like lag out a bit. Sweet. I'm so glad that I didn't have to remake any of these brushes. Let's see. That one still gets a bit crunchy when it's like extra large. Yeah, over a certain size, it gets a little bit crunchy. Oh, that one's weird. Not how that brush normally works. Well, I'll mess with that one another time. Liquify brush. Oh yeah, clunk, 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 clunk. I mean, I'm working in a fairly sizable frame here, but still. Yeah, it's anytime the brush is above a certain size, it gets like chunky. What is the pixel dimension I'm looking at here? Canvas properties. So it's 3000 by 3000 pixels. So if I'm like using a brush that's like 1000 pixels, or well, more like 400. Okay, so anything beyond at this size for a brush gets a little bit chuggy, but then otherwise it's fairly smooth. Still not perfect. If I go too fast, this looks like one of those drip paintings, like a pour art where you like have a pool of water and you like drip paints in it and then swirl it around, then you dip a canvas into it, or like you have a canvas laying down, you like drizzle really fluid acrylics and you like slide the canvas, or you tilt the canvas and have it like roll around on the canvas. Kind of got that look to it. All right, so naturally I'm distracted and ignoring the chat as I do. All right, let's see. Yeah, withdraw the white mouse. I at one point was like, I pulled up the white mouse to redraw it, and all I wanted to do was clean it up, just tune up that art to look the same, but just not be really crunchy and low resolution, so I could use it for like making merch stuff, you know, like make a sticker or like a mug or whatever. And even that I got flack for just trying to clean up the artwork a bit. Alas, some things must remain untainted by the present day. All right, let's see. Yeah, those old drawings do give nostalgia. That's fair. I mean, the art is rough and bad, and like one of the reasons why I want to address some of that really old art. It's the first stuff that players new to the game experience, and you only have a very limited range. Like, there is a limited window of first impressions. So I don't want the first impressions to be like, man, this art is not what I expected. Um, and one of the things that we've discussed is kind of like having uh, like ways to swap the image set, so you could like see the legacy versions of stuff, or like costume redraws, old version, etc. Like that might be something that we could do for V4, etc. So if we end up doing repaints of things, you can kind of like appreciate where it came from, and see where it, like the original art and then the updated art, stuff like that could be neat. I don't know if it'll all be available, because some of the old art that had already been repainted might be tucked away in a hard to find folder somewhere. But yeah, outlived most Facebook games. Which is my favorite mouse in game so far? Thus far, I would say. Oh, it's always a tough one. It's hard to like pick one specifically. Mm, mm, let's see. I mean, so I don't know if it counts, but like the Mythweaver right now is kind of an interesting character, um, being that he has kind of like caused a lot of new areas, and like it's a character that has had multiple iterations in our game, where like technically the Mythweaver started as a book-born mouse. Like if you look at the lore and you kind of like dig into the writing behind it, um, the Mythweaver was a bookborn who kind of like got more knowledge than he was supposed to, and kind of like broke free of Zariel's kind of madness, and kind of like has been doing his own thing, at the behest of many a mice, in some regards, kind of making enemies on all fronts. Um, but yeah, he's an interesting character, and like I like the character because it's just there's so much kind of like range he's had, and different variations, and it's fun to kind of like adapt him as like each of the areas. So he's my favorite in that regard, um, and being a lot of fun art and stuff that came out of him. Uh, yeah, Carmine also, yeah, is another kind of like one of those like you haven't seen my final form kind of characters, which I think it's a lot of fun to have that. I don't even think of Carmine as like, yeah, we had done that in the past. Um, but yeah, like I really do enjoy the idea of kind of like having this reoccurring villain. Um, so yeah, that is kind of where I'm at. Um, there's some like oldie and goodie art and stuff where it's just like I really like how that mouse came out. Like, for example, the tactical paragon, is one of those characters that I'm just like I just really enjoy this character a lot. Um, speaking of which, let's add another character onto one of these pages. Like if we go to the let's go to the lunch break and let's add someone here. I could put in the we had the one eating the chocolate egg. I think I know where that one is. I'll just add her in. Yep. So this one's kind of fun for the lunch break, right? Having a little snack. Um, so I don't remember where I had her placed, but just eating an entire kind of shell of chocolate is gonna make you feel so sick, girl. Stop. Stop. So we'll put her there, maybe. Nom nom nom. All right. Yeah, I mean, I I don't even know if I'm gonna do any drawing today. Um, again, like I'm still setting up my computer, so I'm not really ready to kind of like go full render mode and kind of dig into a good meaty piece of artwork. Although with the new setup, I am excited to kind of, you know, see how it feels. And right now, just kind of like messing around with the brushes, it does feel very, very smooth and responsive. Also, we're not on lunch. Let's go on short break instead. All right, what do we want to put here? Who we got? Let's add another mouse. All right, let's see. Oh, what? Cancel. I don't know why it asked me to save. Well, we got like. Okay. So like we got like a battle. We get this one chopping at the color picker. And then what if let's see. Ooh, Chrono Mouse would be fun. Yeah. Let's see. Who else I got? I have a few that I like threw in a folder. Get this guy. Just kind of like flying around up here. Gyrocoptering off in the corner. Chronocog. Let's see. Can't believe I'm learning new stuff about technology every time by watching MouseHunt stream. Photorealistic version of the white mouse. Oh goodness, that'd be horrifying. But now I want to see it. Like it could be super cute too, because honestly, it is actually a pretty cute mouse. I'm so used to like the photorealistic versions of characters being horrifying. Like you ever see like the Pokemon? They're just like gross looking monsters. I just imagine that for like the weirdly kind of deformed mice that we have created. I'm sure some of them would be truly horrifying. Let's see. I think I want to throw another character on this main view. Who do we want? Someone mentioned the Chrono. Sleepy Merchant's cute. Romino. Romino! Um, Do you think the old art could be available to see in the wiki? I believe that in a few cases it is. That's actually the best place to find it. And the wiki is maintained by the player base rather than the Hitcraft team. In some cases, they've reached out, like people who manage it, to me or the other devs to be like, hey, do you have this image? We can't seem to find it. And so, you know, like, I think that that's a great place to store those if we can for now. A bunch of things they link to like the Layer Loot Lexicon, etc., or other places where we host it. So, you know, I don't know if the old assets are available to the wiki people. But yeah, like that's certainly one of the best places to see, you know, old versions of assets and stuff. So you might be able to find some of them there. I don't know if they're all there. All 8 power types in one theme could be a really cool journal theme too. Yeah, I like that. Imperium Empress looks the best to me. Oh yeah, she's very cool. I don't think she'd be a good frame character here, but one of my favorite creations as well. It's a lot of fun to render. There's just so much going on, right? Oh, interesting. Realistic Pokemon artist got hired for Detective Pikachu. I would believe it because yeah, they did. They did have some work cut out for them. Um, Hall Monitor is a fun character. Ooh, look at the high res of this. Listen, you gotta follow the rulebook version 3.82b. Or you're gonna get got. Okay. Let's shrink that down a bit. Just a bit oversized, huh? There we go. Deborah says no running in the hallway. Okay, so this I like this one. I think this is not the main drawing. This might be more of a short break character. Um, let's see. Add existing mouse 5. Ah, it didn't stay shrunk. Fair enough. Okay. I think Deborah and the hall monitor are going to be like, hey, you with the gigantic parrot on your back. No swinging swords in the hallway. Actually, let's move them over to this side and put put this character over here. And can I flip them? And then you can can I rotate? How do I rotate? I don't know if I can rotate. There's probably a way. Transform. Oh, there's like rotate by 90 degrees and 180 degrees. That's not. Edit transform. There we go. Let's do negative 25. Cool. There's like, whoa. Yeah, right there. Good. Done, done, done. Okay, Deborah, you're a bit big compared to the others. Or Pirate Mouse needs to scale up. Although the sword is kind of cleaving into the drawing area, which might not be ideal anymore. Maybe a different mouse. Let's try... Oh, I know what mouse to do for this. I have an idea. Okay. Oh yeah, no, there's so many like elements of the game or like the designs that I do where you will never be able to see that detail. But I put it in anyways because that's what I like to do. Yeah, can't even read the version 3.82b in game. Absolutely. Draw Jacob as a mouse. Oh boy. Here we go. These are the ones getting in trouble by the hall monitor. They got their top squeaklet. Like here's another detail that, you know, like you might not be able to see. It is a top squeaklet file that they have stolen. Those lawless mice. I tend to put those details more in the live stream where people will get a chance to witness it. But it's kind of a limited edition kind of idea where you needed to be there live to like be able to appreciate that moment of creation, to see what it was, where it came from. If you weren't there, you may never be able to actually appreciate that detail. To be fair, one of the things we're looking at doing in V4 is having access to more high res versions of files. They may not be max res, but like higher res version. Also, and this is something that's gonna be sweet. Another thing that doing this computer upgrade has potentially allowed is giving me the ability to render a larger map image. The map image that I was working on, it was over a gigabyte to kind of like just have loaded in drawing. And although I could work on that, trying to scale up the resolution was an issue. So I was kind of like, there was a technical limit on the actual like what could be illustrated without kind of like configuring things differently and rebuilding it. And also in terms of like what can be put into the game and viewed by the players, there's like file limits and load and like all kinds of reasons that the map is the way it is. It's also a bit of a legacy thing where the way it was created, is one of those things that had to be created early on, and it's kind of like, being built off of those shoulders. And although we've adapted it and adjusted how it works, it's still really legacy and kind of like has its limits. So the map is going to be hugely upgraded in V4. We're going to be able to kind of like stream in like higher res versions of it. It'll load better. And like one of the things that's going to allow me to do is do a better version of the map. Like I'm actually considering redrawing the map, and like just really scaling up the resolution of it, like at least double. And this computer should let me actually manage to do that, whereas before that was not in the books. So that might be something I'm going to be working on in the new year, is like redrawing a lot of the map. And like a lot of it's going to look exactly the same. It'll just be cleaner, and like something I would like to do is space things out better. It's just kind of like all the cool stuff is like crammed on the margins just because of like, okay, we can't really expand the dimensions anymore. We hit some limits, and so I guess we'll just kind of squeeze it in there, and there's just like weird kind of like crushed areas of cool content, and like so it'll give me a nice excuse to like kind of move some things around, massage the landscape a little bit. It'll look a little different, but it'll look a lot better and just be spaced out nicer. So that'd be pretty sweet to do. I think that like a lot of the characters I've been plugging around in here were drawn live. I don't know if every single one of them has been, but that would have been cool if I did only use characters that were drawn live. But yeah, I'm not actually sure. I don't know if I did the Paragon live. I feel like I might have actually. Obviously, Deborah was. That was one that we kind of worked on together. I'm going to remove Deborah. I don't like Deborah on this screen. This is like the main kind of drawing screen, right? So I think we want to kind of like have it be subtle but cool characters. I think we had the calligraphy mouse on this view, or one of the views, which seems appropriate, being, drawing. Is there a red corner sticking out on the map between Sand Crypts and the Prologue Pond? Let me take a look. Sand Crypts and Prologue Pond. Like maybe an artifact got through. I am currently not in a twisted state. think I'd need to be in a twisted state to see that. Should I travel and go into a twisted state just to test it? Are you on Discord? You can, if you're part of um, the uh, the MouseHunt community Discord, you can find me and message me and send me a screenshot, or if it's mobile, maybe that's a little more difficult. But if you can send me a screenshot of that, like a weird kind of glitch, that might be something that needs fixing. If anyone else can take a look and see if there's weird kind of like visual mess up thing, let me see that. I'd like to address it if there is an issue. Um, there's a big-ish square. Okay. Hmm. There is a difference between browser and mobile maps. Those are actually done differently. So let me know if this is on mobile or on browser as well, because that will make a difference. Where can we download MouseHunt desktop wallpaper? That's a good point. I don't know if we have that anywhere for download. Like, you mean like this one? Actually, let me put another view in too. Um, okay, I'm gonna call this one Big Splash. All right, let's see. Create new. Actually, I'm gonna name that so I know what it is. Splash image. All right, let's see. Where are you? Is it wall art? It might be wall art. Yeah, there we go. Um, do you mean this image? It's nearly the right dimensions. It's not quite. Maybe the black borders on the corners is kind of nice. I could stretch it, but that's gross. Okay, can I reset transform, reset transform? I don't want it to be skewed. Let's fix that. Go up in the corner, stretch down, and centered-ish. Good enough. Okay, remove that. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate. And yeah, just message it directly to me. Speaking of which, the old Living Garden map overlay hasn't been working for years. I know that there used to be like many states. You know, I'm gonna see about opening the map. I don't know if this is gonna open correctly on this computer. I haven't actually been running Photoshop on it yet. And I don't know if it will open in Clip Studio Paint. So let me actually just see what happens if I try and open the map. Okay. Let's try. It'd be really nice if it opens in Clip Studio, because that's where I'd prefer to draw the map. But I suspect it's not going to allow me to. When I've tried to open it on my previous computer, it would be like, this file is not valid. And I'm wondering if it's just because it's just oversized, or if I did some weird thing to it. We got heavy loading. Sorry, I'll bring it back to this view so you can see my spinning cursor. And it's hanging. And yeah. I'll wait for the program. As I said, this file is very big. The map file is bloated. In the past, I've actually like compressed it down. I've flattened stuff. It's a very big asset, and I think there's some weird stuff in its legacy. So I legitimately might need to rebuild the map file to even be workable going forward. Normally I have to work in Photoshop on it, and that is what allows me to work on it. Um, but the more I use Photoshop, the less I like using it these days, and I much prefer Clip Studio, although it certainly has its own limits. Speaking of which, oh, sent over. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I accept and accept. Thank you. Let's take a look-see. Oh, interesting. Ah, okay, I get it. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know what's going on with that. Okay, so in browser there is actually an overlay state that happens, because browser can switch. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to close the program. It's just not working. Um, ooh, beautiful mountain. Okay, so uh, in browser we have the map where you can have changing states. So if you're in the twisted version, if your rifts are unlocked or not, those can change. So if you don't have rifts unlocked, the map looks different. Like there is the original state of things. And if you're in the non-twisted version, but on mobile, it's everything is always activated. So all the rifts, even when you first enter the game, they're already visible, and like the garden is in its twisted form and stuff like that. Is just because we weren't able to kind of like set it up to do that kind of configuration at the time, and so uh, that's kind of a factor. Um, and what's happening is the snow-covered state. I added more snow this year, being like, I want it everywhere. And I just add more snow everywhere I can. And this year I forgot about how big that kind of overlay is on browser. And so I didn't account for that. Normally I have to leave that edge kind of clear of snow. So I will fix that, but it won't be necessarily updated this year. Um, but now I kind of want to. Right now, just imagine that there's someone who just like shovels the snow from that area very specifically. And actually, let me pull this up so everyone can appreciate what I'm even talking about. Thank you for the screenshots here. But yeah, so as you can see, there's like this hard edge, and even they don't even line up. See, okay, so this is another thing. This year, I'm going to be, because I've done a lot of like coding on personal projects. I've made my own video games and stuff, um, but I don't really do any coding for MouseHunt itself. This year, I'm going to be trying to do more kind of like content management and assist with that, so that devs can be freed up to do the like core coding of the game, and like less resources are doing like the kind of like, oh, importing art assets and plugging them in and doing that kind of stuff. I'm going to try and step in on that. And like, unfortunately, Franco is one of the people that was doing that kind of content management. So I'm going to try and step into those shoes a little bit. But one of the things that would allow me to do as an artist is I can go in potentially and like fix these things that I can discover and be like, I don't have to be like, hey, Andrew, can you bump that like 3 pixels to the right, please? And like finding these things, being able to actually tweak them without kind of having to pull a developer off of what they're doing would be really nice. And like one of the things is the art cycles have to go through kind of like, phases of like, okay, this is outlined to be created, sent off to an artist to render something, artist sends it to developer to plug it in, and then if the artist has like, hey, I got to tweak this, we got to like hound them, and it's just kind of like a lot more steps. So one of the things I'd love to be able to do is kind of like get set up with an environment where I can kind of go in and do that myself, so it's a little smoother. There's more of an opportunity to just like plug stuff in, not necessarily 100% where I want it, but like have it in there ready, and then I feel more comfortable making those tweaks, as opposed to being like, hey, here, upload this. It's not done, so I'm going to have to harass you anyways and get it tweaked. But if I can just do those tweaks, then that'd be quite nice. So that's something that I might be looking into being able to do in the future. But yeah, it would allow me to clean up potentially things like this where it's kind of like just a little off. And it's kind of like, hey, can you bump that and do this? And sometimes it's a case of like, I need it to be done so that I can see, oh, the asset needs to be exported slightly differently, and it's just a lot more kind of effort to make that work. But yeah, as you can see, this is not awesome. But yeah, so it's literally because I have overlay. So let's see. Let's look at the slices, and let me find that overlay slice, which is this one. And we're using an old asset. Fascinating. See, this is exactly why I want to get access to doing this stuff, because I created an asset that clearly is not using the correct asset. So technically it should be using this one, and I have updated the team with the correct one, but basically this is supposed to do this kind of thing, right? Okay, so it's not quite scaled exactly how it needs to be, but I designed this asset so it won't have this issue. So let's shrink that down. But like, I knew this was going to be an issue, so I built the asset to avoid it. And this is exactly why I want to be able to make these tweaks, because sometimes things get a little bit confused, right? There's like a lot of kind of like versions of files, and this might be quite fixable though, because I can just be like, hey, this is the wrong asset, please update. Okay, so I just need to like pick an anchor point and then scale so that it fits that. It's not quite right. Okay, well that's close enough. Yeah, so if I were to throw hello? Hotkey fill is not working. Okay, so not all my hotkeys are working. But as you can see, this should be cut off here, but it's not. So it's definitely the old file. So I gotta send the team the notice about that. Use the correct version. Let me see if, yeah, even the night version has that cut out. Okay, wow, they are definitely using an old version. I need to do an audit on those files. Okay, here we go. I found the old version which has that corner. So they're using this file, which is incorrect. So let me see if there's any differences between these two, other than just that is. Zoom out. Yeah, it's literally just that. Okay, cool. Well, I will just have to poke them about that, but thank you for pointing that out. I would not have noticed that on my own. Do I still have the old non-twisted Living Garden map asset? Absolutely I do, yes. I have it in the base file, but if I have like the many different states actually. So here is like the very first version of it that you get, actually here, is the first version where you haven't even liberated Murade Market. And then here you have liberated it, and we don't do this state change anymore. This is removed. I believe now we just go straight into this version, just because like having that many state changes, I think it was easier to just not have that or something. So we just have this baked into the map now. It goes to the previous one. It goes to this one. Interesting. Don't see the dome open. That's on me then. I'm the one that has the control over what one is baked into the map. So I'm going to update the map with this version. So thank you for pointing that out. So unfortunately, that does mean that when you first, like, because this technically was what should be baked in, because this is what, like, the base version should be. And then when you do liberate it, it should change to this one. And I might harass Andrew and see about re-implementing. You go into the rift, right? When you twist for the first time. But yeah, so this is the one baked in. I'm gonna poke them about adding this one. Also, I thought that the actual army shifted between the states. Maybe I'm mistaken about that. I thought there was something about like the army camps and stuff actually changing. No, I guess they don't. But yeah, so that's kind of like the 3 states that exist for this. Yeah. Listen, today is just one of those streams where it's just like, I don't know, we'll just do whatever comes up. But yeah, I honestly figured today I wouldn't really be doing much rendering. It'd be more just kind of hanging out doing whatever. Constructively critical errors. Oh yeah, that could be a good character to put on here. I like that idea. All right, that one. Let me go grab that mouse. Let's see, browse. Might take a second because I need to go into the shared drive. Need to remember how to navigate to that. There we go. Regions. School of Sorcery. Mice. Takes a second to load. Full res version. Open. Okay. Boom. Full res indeed. Shrink that down just a bit. So one of the things about having a character in this corner is I don't want them to cover like the layer menu too much. I think the characters that I had there before were kind of like balanced in a way that they didn't totally cover it. So like this artist might be better on this side. I could do a flipperoo. Maybe I move this character. Maybe not. Could just be hanging out down here. It's me. Alright, I'll hide this one for now. The art mouse does make sense as, like, the character to show here, though. Did I do this one on stream? I think I did. At least part of it. Yeah, that's not bad there. I could do like, let me bring back big old puncher. What was that? Mouse 4? Nope. Well, you can hang out here too. Why not? Let's see. I should have actually named the mice after the mouse that I imported. That's not a mouse. The importance of naming files. Image mouse 1. There you are, mouse 1. If it was swinging a punch, I'd have it like punching the side of my face. All right. I mean, I don't know if I want to clutter this right now, because like I kind of like seeing the kind of collage of characters behind me. This thing. Maybe I'll put that mouse on lunch break. Let's throw that one there. Give it a flip. And really scale it up. Just I have come to do some damage. That might cover over where I like to display the the playback. So we'll see. Let's put it there for now. Hall monitor was on short break. You know, it's like short break is like, hang on, I gotta go, you know, clean up some cat puke or run off to the washroom or something. This one's like an hour long. So, I don't know, what do we think? I mean, maybe this would be a better short break, because it's just like, hey, I come a clobbering real quick. Yeah. Maybe that. Although I like Deborah like getting the stack of mice in trouble. Hmm. Yeah. Names like Deborah, Nick, Dolph never make it in the game. No, these are community things. Although let's see. I feel like or maybe in the file upload I've like suggested using the names, like for the Deborah one specifically. I did put that in the case when I uploaded it to the dev to be implemented. So it's up to them to decide how to use it or not. But yeah, like there's like Steve the snowman, which yet again has had more versions this year. Like any place we can sneak Steve the snowman in, we do. So I think Steve actually has the most iterations out of any canon characters in the game. More than Larry versions, more than Mythweaver. Steve is in the game like 6 or 7 times maybe. Some of them you can't ever see again because they were in like depreciated interfaces though. So I don't know if it counts, but it's kind of interesting. All right, so we do want a mouse here. Who else? Yeah, new mouse or new trap description does not mention the droids. Interesting. I haven't actually read that one yet. I could try. I think I had the. Who was it? There was like the Time Punk mouse. I think they actually fit quite well. And I actually quite like the art for this one. I think they were just kind of like a tiny little guy like right here. So you can still see my layer palette. I don't remember where. Like, the funny thing is I've had this interface for so long and I didn't really update it, and I don't even remember what was on it. Should I flip it around? Nah. I like it the other way. Time Punk. Sure. I'm gonna rename these files so they're easier to work with. Mouse. Time Punk. This is frame webcam. Art mouse already named. Tactical Paragon. Just because, like, I'm actually, after having to kind of redo some of these setups and import and export, like, I've discovered how important it is to name and export and save things very specifically. It's important. Makes life easier. I think I want something kind of coming in from this corner. I don't need to always have this displayed. The gyrocopter could work there. But what new character? Let's see. Any ideas? Something that would like be good at kind of coming in from the top corner. I got like this character. Again, bringing in the full res versions. Yeah, maybe not the best details for cramming into a corner there. Yeah, I don't think so. Might be good for like the lunch break. Let's throw that in there. Top left corner, maybe. Kind of a fun character. I don't know if everyone gets to appreciate the detail in game, but there is a droid trying to attack and getting a very frozen. Fun times. It's the little details. Okay. That's maybe okay there. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's so many details that you don't always get to have access to. Um, Now that's the ice treatment. Actually, I'm playing Path of Exile 2 and Sorcerer that does that to everything on screen, just completely freezes everything. Good times, good times. Could move this up and like have another character in front in this corner. Again, like I don't know if I want to really like clutter it up. Like it's getting pretty overwhelming. One of the things I do when I go on lunch break is I hide this and I put up like the replay. So I'm worried about capitalizing too much on that space right there. So I might move this down here. That might be okay. It's just there's so many fun details that I really enjoy on this character, and I like to put it in there. One of my faves. I also really like an old one. Is it the Portal Protector or something like that? I forget the name of it every time. I've talked about it before. Let's see if I can find them. It's like a paladin character. I did like an animation with it in the past. Let's go to shared regions. Not Whiskerwoods, no. There it is in the rifts. Bristlewoods. I always Whiskerwoods and Bristlewoods kind of like trip me up sometimes. Okay. It's a bunch of very big, cool art assets in this folder that take a second to load because I am streaming them in on my computer. The Chrono Mouse could be a cool one to add here. I'll try adding that one next. Just takes a second. Paladin Weapon Master is good too. Actually, Harbinger would be a good corner mouse to have flying in. Okay, do that. Portal Paladin. Boop. I don't know if that's the actual in-game name. I haven't always like matched the names. Okay, so this might be a good. Oop, I didn't mean to do that bad transform. So if I hide that. Like the framing on that's not bad. Actually, that might be good on the Photoshop page or the actual canvas. Let's see. Maybe I'll swap out the time punk. Let's bring in existing Portal Paladin. I don't want it to cover the frames too much. Cover over the color picker, I guess. It's not the end of the world. Or do we do this instead? Where you can still see most of the frames, or most of the layers. Palette. That might not be terrible. I don't know, do we care about seeing the layers palette? Like, I do talk about it while I'm working sometimes, so it might be unfortunate to cover it. What do you guys think? Chronomaster works because you're on a timer for the lunch break. That's a great point. I like that. Okay, so there's Portal Paladin. Time Punk does kind of fit that section just a little bit better, maybe. So let's go back to on lunch break, and let's bring in the chrono. Yeah. Portal Paladin works there. Okay. Let's see. I think the Chronomaster will be a good one for here, though. Well, with the whole, like, on a timer is actually pretty brilliant. We flip them. Yeah, floating in on the corner is kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's neat. And it kind of, like, it goes into the center panel, but, like, it's not too bad. Like, if I have the replay here, it fits-ish. Maybe I'll move it over just a little more. Could shrink it too. Can still appreciate a lot of the details. That's pretty okay. All right, I like that. Let's move you down here. We can still bring in, who do we want to bring in? No. Do I shrink a few of these? Like, if I shrink yay and move that there. Chocolate Noms. I don't remember the mouse's name, so I just called her Chocolate Noms. I don't even know if I like this character here. Eh. Oh, Magmatic Golem because it's snacking on a crystal. That's fun. All right, let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, I like it would be good to kind of like make it appropriate to what's happening. So like the lunch timer with the Chronomouse, the eating things. It's pretty clever. All right, let's see if we can find Magmatic Golem. Magmatic Golem. All right. Regions. Claw shot. Or, Fort Rocks. Right? That's where that one is, right? Or is it on the train? Am I thinking of the correct one? Might be on the train. Dawn Guardian character might be good for the coming in from the corner too. Although I'm gonna put the Reaper in and try the Reaper in that spot. Oh, the one I was thinking of for Fort Rocks is the Meteorite Golem. That's not the one. Yeah, I think it's the train. is that folder called? Narnia Express. It's like the location I have potentially played the least out of all of them. Unfortunately, it's a cool idea, but it's like gameplay-wise not ideal due to it was fun when everybody was playing it at the same time, and then no, is that not where that mouse is? Maybe I didn't upload that one there yet. I'm still like doing file management things in the computer. Okay, where are you hiding? Yeah, okay, I haven't moved it to the appropriate folder, unfortunately. Okay, I know where to find it though. Content, mice, rendered. Right? Yeah. Oh, there's a few I gotta organize. Mouse underscore. Because it's such an old mouse. Mage. Mad. There you are. Oh, I don't even have a backgroundless one. No. Shucks. Alright, well, I'm going to have to just edit that. But this would be a funny one for lunch break, right? Alright, let me fix that. Okay, cool. So, let's not be set as on lunch break. Let's go to, this is a Photoshop screen. Let's go file open. Where's the PSD for this? Hello? JPEG, GIF, 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 JPEG, JPEG. Okay, well, I will go open the path to that. Yeah, so one of the things I need to be doing is just, and part of what next week is, because it's like, oh, this was done on live stream, and you'll see why in a second once I actually find it. So one of the things I need to do is just organizing the files. We have like a shared drive that we are using for the art, and I just have like a over a decade of files that still need to be organized. There you are, Magmatic Golem Photoshop file. Let's open that in Clip Studio. Okie dokie, here we are. Hide that background. So what I was saying is I can tell that this was done on a live stream because we got some hidden names. This is a thing that I used to do. We don't necessarily do it anymore, but I would actually hide people's initials and stuff like that in the art. So if you were here live, you could actually be forever kind of put into the game. So we got like Twirling Twister, Greg, Fem, Trebor, Ian, Buddy Boo 99, TJ. But it's fun because like I have to discover how to like hide that, you know. So it's kind of like with the magma kind of cracks and stuff. It just looks like part of the texture at resolution, right? So that's kind of like a fun little Easter egg thing that you can only get if you join me for live streams. So, all right, I'm going to export this. Let's move this out here. Sure, I'll put it in the folder where the rest of these assets are, and I will name it to match those. And then later I will organize this more properly. I'm not going to do that on stream at least. So save that as full res, 100%, okay, previewed, good enough. I'll even save that asset and close that. Okay, let's go back to throwing that character in here. We were doing that for lunch break. And turn that back on. Let's edit this to be _, magmatic, golem, did it not export it in that folder? Maybe it did not. Where did I end up putting you? Shucks. All right. Try that again. See where that went. Already exists in this folder, huh? Okay. Let's see if this works. Nope. Could not find the path. All right. Where the heck? What's going on? Sorry, I'm doing this all off screen, so it's kind of like not the coolest. But hey, this whole stream is just a mess, huh? Okay. Don't know why you're not showing up. Oh yeah, we had the egg painter, I thought. Bring in the Sylph. That's an old classic. Oh, I'm not even allowed to like move this frame. I want to like show all the mice I'm looking at, but I can't move it at the moment. Okay. Sentry is kind of cool mouse. Here, let's get this old boy, just for the fun of it. Like, what's up? I got all the cork. You need cork? I got some. I got you. I got you. Cork for days. Nice. All right. So don't know where I would put that mouse. Good without it. I just enjoy it. Let's see. Okay. Where in the world is that file? I don't know why it wasn't showing up. Also, I'm not on lunch break. This is a lie. Okay. What do we think of this frame? Do we like this? I don't know. Don't know if the time punk works. Like, I like that character, but is there a better mouse? Okay, I know what one I want to throw in here, though. I'm going to throw the Reaper in. I know I have the correct file for that. All right, let me actually move this down here so you can see like what I'm looking through. So that's going to be regions. Is that Rift one? Rifts, Bristlewoods, mice. It's a little more interesting to at least see me kind of like looking at the different mice we have. So you, Harbinger of Death. Have that coming in the corner could be fun. The lighting on it's a little bit awkward because it doesn't have the actual like proper light that it kind of like sits on top of. Like it looks better on a dark background, right? But on a light background it looks kind of weird. It should just be leaping into the screen like that. Reaper reminds you to save the file. Perfect. Yeah. I do feel like this is kind of a nice spot for that character. Maybe I'll try rotating them a bit. Edit transform, rotation. Let's try -20. They're like leaping off of this halberd. Yeah, let's rotate them a little bit more. -30. There we go. That way if it has like the glow right on that spot of the canvas and it looks a little nicer at least. This is good. I think this works. Okay, I like that. There's like an art battle happening, you know? It's kind of fun. Maybe I'll shrink the critic. They don't need to be that big. Taking up too much real estate. What do you think? It's free real estate, buddy? Nah. All right. Fun character. I don't think I can make it fit in the way that I want. So you're removed. And I mean, Time Punk's fine. Not that. Portal Paladin could work here. Have it just kind of like peeking in the corner. Sure. I think I'm happy with that. Both from the same area though, which is kind of maybe not the funnest. All right. So this one I guess is fine. I might like do a different journal theme at some point. You know, maybe we should render a different one. Oh, I have the calm clearing one, which should be really pretty. Maybe I'll throw that one in there too. So short break is fun. Maybe lunch break is, who do we want on the bottom right? Let's bring in this old. Yeah. Do I swap the Chrono Mouse out here? do that. Actually, I think I like that better. And then we could still move the this one over here. Give them a flip as well. Yeah, sure. I want to make sure that droid is visible. This might be okay. All right, and then we got just kind of like hide the screen. And just big art splash. Let's actually scale that to just take the whole canvas. Sure. Should open one that actually has a time lapse on it. Let's see, what could I open? Oh, I gotta install, there's like a piece of software that like lets me see the thumbnails of certain files, so that would be useful. And let's see, loading in. I think this one has a time-lapse video. I just want to see how well the framing works, because it is kind of crowded feeling, and I might not be appreciating how large these are, because I'm looking at this in like a quarter size view as opposed to the full view you guys get. Okay, so this, if I like move the piece over here and then time lapse, export. Oh, we are at 1 o'clock. So it is officially lunchtime, and I think I might wrap up the stream. But yeah, it's feeling maybe a little too crowded here. Like I can shuffle this over here, but like maybe if I just shrink the tactical paragon just a little bit. I just want to make sure that I can show off the work that I'm doing that day, right? So I think I'll just shrink these a bit. And by a bit, I mean a lot. Oh, that's not the right one. Okay, I'll get rid of you. Seems fine. You can get small. I might even rotate this one a little bit. -20. Yeah. Maybe not even that much. -10. That seems fine. Okay. All right, so now if I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going on lunch break. Let's put this image here. Let's do a little time lapse export. Okay. Set that to like all. And I can kind of move it where you can see. That's not bad. And then I have room for the hourglass timer. So then if I, didn't need to do that. Bring this over here. You can kind of do that kind of layout, right? That's not bad. So it's it's very much a graphic design is my passion kind of level of layout. It's not awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit cluttered and crazy. Also, I should look at this like full screen to see just how bad it is. All right, let's balance it just a little better than that. Scooch that over. Chocolate noms, you can actually go further back. Chronomos, I think you can shrink even more. I think I need more breathing room. It's just too crowded on the canvas. Okay, and tactical paragon. Also a little bit large. I just need to appreciate how big it actually is on when people are viewing it full screened. So that's better. Yeah, I'm gonna actually bring this up and look at this how you all would see it. Okay, cool. Little tweaks. See, this is a thing that I can't do without actually streaming in a way. I mean, I can, but like I want to be able to see what it actually looks like live. Cool. All right, I like that. Feeling better about all that. And then short break. Let's scooch the top squeakrit over. Shrink Deborah and friend. And gyrocopter buddy. Like the thing about the short break is I won't necessarily do the time lapse. It might just be like, hey, I'll BRB real quick. Like leave it like that. So that's not bad. Top left could use a little fun time. Like the one thing about short break is it's like one of the least used ones, so I don't mind having it be like crowded. A little bit anyways. Let's try adding, what do I already have that might work? bring the time punk back here. Can't really fit them. Like, I need a floating mouse. I feel like there was another floating mouse I was looking at, and then I was like, oh, that might be a cool one. Let's see. There was, I don't need any more from the Bristlewood's Rift. These are like all my old creations that haven't been organized. Which probably won't have proper background removed for many of them. The hobby horse. Mouse Force 5. That was a fun one. Yeah, I really need to install the suite that like does a much better job of thumbnails. They're like way faster, and it like caches them better. And also for like Photoshop and Clip Studio files, it actually displays a thumbnail. Right now it's not. Oh man, the like Sugar Rush character needs to be in the lunch one. Definitely. Oh, I know another BRB character. There is like a grave robber or something like that character. Oh, this would be a good kind of flying in out of frame. Yeah. That's fun. All right. I so this character was inspired from a game, an old PC game called Ski Free. And when I was installing Windows 11, um, while it was kind of like configuring itself and doing all of its installation and all that, there's like this little game you could play, uh, and it was like a recreation of Ski Free, but it was like on water. And it was just kind of fun because like every once in a while I want to play that game because it's very nostalgic, and they did a pretty decent job of making a modern version of it. There's like this mouse back here with its wings, just hard to place around it where I'm not kind of like creating weird artifacts or tangents rather. This might work here. All right, let's see. Short break. Can cram some fun characters in here. All right, let's take a look at lunch. Because I kind of want to throw the Sugar Rush in there. Was Sugar Rush on the original layout? I feel like it might have been. Good. All right. Full res Sugar Rush. Boom. Hello. Just popping in here to say hi, friends. Magmatic Golem, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I just couldn't figure out where on the drive it ended up, even though I know where I saved it to. It just didn't seem to stay. The chaos. Should these two just be hanging out, eating candy? Kind of like that. It's kind of cute. All right. Yeah, Magmatic Golem. You right. Eating them crystals. Mouse. Name already in use. Right. Where are you? That's not the Magmatic Golem. Let's see if we can find it. Because I saved it into this folder under the same name. Just wondering if it like moved it out of order. So it's like mouse underscore magmatic golem underscore fullres.png is what it should be. I can set it to only show PNGs. That'll make it faster at least. Yeah, it should be like right here. I don't know why it's not showing up. Let's try this one more time. And put a underscore at the front, so it should put it up the top of the list. Sorry about this character just being completely covering the screen. Content, mice, rendered. Maybe I should just throw it on my desktop to force it. Yeah, it's not here. What is going on, computer? Okay. Okay. Let's try saving it to desktop. No, actually, I have a better spot for it. Feedback Friday, page assets, magmatic golem, full res, PNG. Yep, yep. Okay. Now, if this doesn't work, I'm not sure what's wrong. Page assets. Okay, there it is. That worked. All right. Magmatic golem. Oop. That's not right. Oh, and I can't undo. That's fine. Hello. You kind of compete with the Paragon there. But it is pretty good for lunch break. Yeah. Sorry, Paragon. Maybe like that. Could be like down here. That's actually pretty good too. Kind of like the hand going over the frame. The overlapping text. Maybe that. So there's that or that. I think this is better for lunch, right? Nomen nomen. You go back to where you were. So this character doesn't really fit the lunch theme, right? Now that we're kind of like designing around that concept. So maybe there's a different one we want to use. What's that Greg detail? So that would have been from the live stream itself. What I used to do a lot, and I'm down with doing it again, was I would have kind of like a period during the live stream where I'd be like, okay, I'm taking names, like, give me a name, and I'll hide it in the artwork. And it'd be kind of like you need to be there live. And then you get your I used to do it a ton, like every art stream. So like so many of the characters that were created on those streams actually have little hidden details like these in the artwork. And when it's at size in game, you can't really see it. I did kind of like stop doing that so much because it's kind of something that we're doing more is more higher res stuff. And like if we give access to the full res versions of things, then suddenly there's like names drawn all over the art everywhere, and that's kind of awkward. But at the same time, it's kind of cool to be able to give that to the players, to the viewers, and stuff like that. So that is interesting. Oh, I see. That's interesting. The actual camera view, I just realized, is a bit off. So this isn't actually displaying all of the monitor. I don't know if I want to tweak that. So it should be made to kind of match more. So let's see. How is this one set up? Okay, it is the full view. That makes sense. Yeah, for whatever reason that got like scaled and pushed off. Okay, better. Oh, this one's broken as well then. Let me fix that. Make that properly full screen. Lock that. Lock that. Just going around locking all of the tweaks I've done. All right. Well, what do we think? What do we think? This isn't bad. I might just kind of play around with it, like here and there. No reason we can't kind of like continue to make these tweaks and adjustments. Let's save this workspace. Cool. All right, well, we got a whole lot of nothing done today. I think I'm probably going to call it, though. It is 1:22. I need to take my lunch and get back to things that I can't stream live. And, yeah. Sorry we didn't really do any art today. I mean, I guess doing, like, graphic design as like, much as it pains me to like say this is layout and graphic design, because it's monstrously terrible. I think I could do a lot better of making this look professional, but you know what? This is the level of effort I put into the streams, and I apologize for how I do this. But this is just who I am as a streamer, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna say adios for now, and you know, I'll see you next year, kind of thing. So there's that. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. I hope it was entertaining. I know it was kind of a weird one. We will get back into doing proper art when I return, and we will make cool creations together. And maybe I'll even put your signature or your initials into the artwork. Who knows? But yeah, I hope you have a good weekend, all, and happy holidays. I'll see you in a year. Well, not in a year. I'll see you next year. There's that. But take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And happy hunting. I'll catch you all later. And yes, I do want to do another journal theme. You're right. I think that'd be fun. I'm just kind of like looking at the chat because I've been like not looking at it, but it's not like it's, you know, been moving too fast to follow. But yeah, okay. I should sign out and get food in me because I've not eaten enough today, and fuel up and focus on getting some stuff done because I need to wrap up some stuff for the end of the year. And then enjoy my holidays and have a fun work party with everyone. I'm going to put the Larry link in the chat again for anyone who's missed it. Let me grab that real quick. Some animated snow, I believe. There we go. And yeah, that's about it. Okay. Sorry, this one was just like a weird, just kind of like blah, stream. We'll have some really good art ones in the new year, and they're going to be a lot of fun. And I will make sure that you are a part of the process. Oh, okay. Until next time. I'll catch you later, everyone. Bye.